the mullet coming back, I think I'd have to wear a wig or have hair extensions for that to happen.
This is SportsCenter.
Gators and Buckeyes back in the spotlight. The other Florida champs in an SEC slugfest, and another disappointment for Ohio State. The Hall calls on Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn, and a Big Mac Whopper. Will he ever be elected to Cooperstown? NFL divisional playoffs. All eyes on the guys behind center. Whose performance will you be talking about on Monday?
Begin in Gainesville. The Gators have shocked the world.
Welcome to SportsCenter. I'm Stan Verrett along with Steve Levy. The BCS championship game was sold last night for Florida and Ohio State. They finished 1-2 in football, and now that that's over, well, the fun isn't. They could see each other again in Atlanta this time.
Stan, the Final Four just around the corner. Speaking of four, the Ohio State Lottery had to stop customers from playing 41-14, the score of last night's game, because so many people picked the same numbers. After Ohio State beat Michigan 42-39, the numbers 4-2-3-9 were actually drawn in that pick four. Number one in football, Florida. There's Urban Meyer in attendance tonight, taking on the defending champs in basketball, Billy Donovan's squad. They're currently ranked second. Torian Green for three. Florida up 16-6. Arkansas, though, would fight back on the fast break. Off the steal, Patrick Beverly, one-handed flush. It's a 4-point game. Sonny Weems gets down the floor in a flash for the jam. Gary Irvin leads to a two-handed dunk. And then Irvin tips in the Beverly miss to beat the buzzer. It's a 1-point game at halftime. Gator players showing some love for that trophy.
The first time in college athletic history you had a #1 basketball team and a #1 football team in the same year.
All the Florida football players were in attendance, except Chris Leak. He's hanging with Jay Leno tonight. So here we go. First play of the second half, Corey Brewer the alley-oop to Joakim Noah. Noah had 11. Florida riding that halftime momentum. Al Horford dunking all over Arkansas's big man Stephen Hill. Darian Towns dunking a foul. He had 18 in his double-double. And here's Patrick Beverly. They were just 2 of 15 from 3. Arkansas their first lead of the night. But then Noah misses it again. This time finds Lee Humphrey. And Humphrey would settle things down for the easy 2. Florida retakes the lead. From in front of his bench, Green, the 3. From the same spot as Green, Humphrey drains the 3. All 5 Florida starters scoring double figures, and they do go on to win. Gainesville becoming one of the toughest places in college basketball to try to steal a win. Gators are 26-2 at home over the last 2 seasons. They've won 13 straight home games. That's tied for the 3rd longest streak in the Billy Donovan era, 6th longest in school history.
One of those home games was a win over Ohio State, but Buckeyes have won 3 in a row on their way to a date with number 4 Wisconsin tonight. Orlando Tucker, Greg Oden ready for action. First half, Wisconsin up 5. Jason Chappelle with a spin move, and he draws a foul on Oden. Picks up his second that would send him to the bench. 10 seconds left in the first half. Badgers up 1. Tucker, he's their senior leader, and he sends his team into the locker room up 3. Second half, Ohio State down 2. Mike Conley Jr., another one of Thad Matta's talented freshmen with a rip and the big finish. In addition to the Florida loss, Ohio State also lost to North Carolina, looking for a big road win. They did beat Illinois on Saturday. Second half, Wisconsin up 3. Chappelle misses a layup. Tucker there for the putback over Oden. And the Badgers up 5. Shortly thereafter, 3-point game, Wisconsin up off the inbounds pass. Shot clock winding down. But Tucker, he just finds a way. And he gets the roll. That's the top play nominee. Check him out. Somehow maintains control of the ball before he comes down, beats the shot clock, and then makes the bucket. Badgers up 5. Second half, they're up 8 and pulling away on the break. Michael Flowers to Tucker. It's a 10-point game. Ensuing possession off the inbound. Tucker with the steal. Headed down court. Swatted away by Oden, but Joe Krabbenhoff there for the putback. Badgers up 12. Things just seem to work out for them at home. Under 6 minutes left in the second half, it's Cameron Taylor. He had a season-high 25. Badgers up 12, so you think it's going to be a blowout. But wait a minute, Thad Matta's team coming back. 8-point game. Michael Flowers to Tucker. So they got it back up to 10, but Ohio State just wouldn't go away. Oden inside. He had just 10 points and 3 for 7, but he made it a 5-point game. Wisconsin went back up 6. Ron Lewis. 3 ball. Bang, bang, bang. It's back to a 3-point game. After a Badger free throw, the lead at 4. Oden back at the rim.
It's a 2-point game.
Another free throw for Wisconsin. So it's back to a 3-point game. Ohio State can tie it with a 3. They turn to Jamar Butler, but he can't knock it down. And Wisconsin's win streak at home up to 16 now. They won 12 in a row overall. And they are tough to beat in Madison. Bo Ryan in his 6th season as Wisconsin's head coach. His teams have been almost automatic at the Kohl Center. They're 85-5 at home over the past 6 seasons. Only Gonzaga, Southern Illinois, and Duke have better home records over that same time span. Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale had the best seats in the house. They've got more from Madison.
Well, it seems every time Wisconsin has a really big game, most of the focus is on the other team, or the other team has, or what the other team's advantages are. Yet Wisconsin, more often than not, they find a way to win.
Well, they found a way to win because Cameron Taylor was sensational today, and Tucker made big plays when he had to make big plays. He struggled on the free throw line, but you got to credit Ohio State. Down 16, they come back, they make a gallant run, they make those threes, get them back in the game, and they finally utilized Oden on the offensive end. Start throwing some lobs, taking advantage of his great talents.
Oden didn't make a field goal in the first half, wound up with 10 points, but the story was Cameron Taylor, a season-high 25 points and a visit with Aaron Andrews.
Cameron Taylor with 25 points tonight. You're saying to me right now that was a tough game, but you were able to hold on. What does that say about this team?
It says a lot about the team. You know, we've matured a lot through the season. You know, we had a couple young guys step up today, and it's all about maturing. You know, we're getting better, and we have that experience back from last year, so we know how to handle games like this.
Orlando Tucker told me today you are playing the best basketball he has seen out of you. Why?
I'm just slowing the game down. You know, I'm not trying to force anything. You know, he's our main guy, and he's going to be our main guy on most nights. And, you know, when he's not getting it, you know, that's when I have to step up. So it's just a matter of not forcing things and taking good care of the ball.
How was this team able to contain Greg Oden tonight the way you did?
We just took it right at him. I mean, we saw it when he played against Florida, and, you know, we got him in foul trouble. Our bigs did a great job of just taking it at him, not being intimidated, and it worked out.
Cam Taylor, thank you.
Thank you.
I think Cameron Taylor definitely at least sharing the spotlight with Orlando Tucker here tonight.
Well, there's Chris Rock. He looks like Chris Rock. There he is making the layup. Cameron Taylor. I'll tell you. And there's Tucker with that fadeaway jump shot. He's my choice midseason player of the year. I would pick Mr. Tucker the way he's been playing. Facekas and certainly Big Baby Davis. And you can't count out Tyler Hansbrough as well in terms of talking about player of the year at this time.
The Badgers have the highest ranking in the program's history. Number 3 in the coaches poll, number 4 in the media poll. They've only lost once all season. That was back in November to Missouri State, and they pick up a big one in the battle for Big Ten supremacy here in Madison.
This is awesome. This is the greatest honor a baseball player can get.
Coming up inside SportsCenter, Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken with days to remember. Mark McGwire, one to forget. His reputation tarnished for good. 2 of the West Division leaders tango. Utah Jazz to give Dallas a second straight loss. Or was there too much dirt to handle? Plus, we're all over this weekend's arms race. Win or lose, which quarterback performance will be the most talked about after the game?
Disciplined investing. It isn't about star fund managers. At T. Rowe Price, it's about experienced investment teams that stay the course. For each 1, 5, and 10-year period, 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing. stunning video, MP3 sound, broadband speed, internet, and email, all working flawlessly together in one ultra-thin device. The new Blackjack. Only from Singular.
SportsCenter, brought to you by T. Rowe Price. Mutual funds, IRAs, college savings from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. And Singular, raising the bar.
If Mark McGwire hit one high and far but foul, Cal Ripken Jr. and Tony Gwynn hit line drives right up the middle. The doors of baseball's Hall of Fame swing wide open for them July 29th. The squeaky clean Padre and Oriole. And despite playing in the age of free agency, that's all they ever were, a Padre and an Oriole. Ripken said all he wanted to hear was, "You're in." A little different for Gwynn, who was actually worried he was going to get 100% of the votes, something that's never happened before and still hasn't happened. If Ripken would have been picked by 2 of the 8 voters who didn't select him, he would have set the percentage record. 2 voters submitted blank ballots. Ripken was much more than just made of iron. 19-time All-Star, 2-time AL MVP, while setting power-hitting standards for shortstops.
I know a lot of people had said it was a foregone conclusion that I'd have a chance for the Hall of Fame, but I never believed any of that sort of thing. And it was a wonderful moment to get a call and say congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame. There were moments when you're a kid, when you're dreaming and fantasizing about being a ball player, that part of that fantasy and part of that dream would be someday that you would, be in the Hall of Fame. I loved playing every minute of being a ball player. I had a dream a long time ago of being a ball player. So in many ways, it's just a continuation and a celebration of that dream that I was able to live.
Cal Ripken Jr. was one of only 8 players with 3,000 hits and 400 home runs, so he was much more than just the Major League Baseball Iron Man. He's the Orioles' all-time leader in games, runs, hits, home runs, and RBIs, and holds the Major League Baseball record for homers by a shortstop, going big fly 345 times as a middle infielder. Tony Gwynn was a 15-time All-Star during his 20-year career in San Diego. No one could question his hitting, but he hit just 135 home runs, matching Mark McGwire's 2-season total in '98 and '99. He's said to be a Punch and Judy spokesperson.
To be honest, when the phone rang, the first thing I thought about was validation. I never won any championships. I didn't win any MVPs. Didn't hit a whole lot of home runs and wasn't quite sure how people were going to vote on that. And so when the phone rang this morning, I think it all kind of hit you at once. He didn't even have a chance to get out, "You're a Hall of Famer." He just said congratulations, and I was done. I'm excited about it because it gives me an opportunity to toot the horn of the contact guy.
Tony Gwynn batted .289 as a rookie, never batted below .300 again. Gwynn had 18 straight seasons with at least 125 at-bats and a .300 batting average, second most in history. Only Ty Cobb, also a first-ballot Hall of Famer in 1936, had a longer streak. Gwynn finished his career with a .338 batting average.
Meanwhile, Mark McGwire's candidacy was viewed as the first Hall of Fame referendum on a player accused of using steroids. The result? The voters rejected McGwire in his first year on the ballot, and by a wide margin. He got just 23.5% of the vote. His prodigious home run numbers weren't enough. McGwire has 583. That's good for 7th on the career list, and more than any other player who is eligible for the Hall of Fame, but not in. McGwire, of course, said famously that he didn't want to talk about the past when he appeared before Congress in March of 2005, but apparently the allegations of steroid use in his past did matter to the voters. But will McGwire be penalized for only a short time? Tim Kirkchin takes a look ahead.
Mark McGwire got 23% of the vote for the Hall of Fame, another indication that it may take a long time before he's enshrined in Cooperstown. He might get a bump next year from the writers who didn't vote for him on the first ballot as punishment for his alleged involvement with steroids. There are 5 Hall of Famers: Duke Snider, Billy Williams, Louis Aparicio, Bruce Sutter, and Don Drysdale, who had similar vote totals to McGwire in their first year, but eventually made it. The difference is, and it's a big difference, they didn't have a steroid cloud hanging over their head.
So let's crunch the numbers. McGwire's name appeared on just 128 of the record 545 ballots, falling well short of the 75% that he needed for induction. Ripken got 98.5% of the votes, the 3rd highest percentage ever behind Tom Seaver in '92 and Nolan. 7th highest total ever. Carl Ravitch now on the Baseball Tonight crew with more on the newest Hall of Fame.
McGwire actually finished 9th in the balloting behind other guys like Andre Dawson and Burt Blyleven and Steve Phillips. Peter Gammons here to put some perspective on what we saw. For the next 15 years, you'll be able to vote, the baseball writers, on Mark McGwire. Over that period of time, will he ever get enough votes to get in?
I think there's a chance if we learn that we're 1,000, 1,800 players in a 20-year period up through about 2005 that use some sort of performance-enhancing drugs. I think there'll be, there could be some revisionist history. People will say, all right, the majority of players were doing it, fine. McGwire is one of the greatest home run hitters of that period. But it may be that we find out just the opposite, that not as many as we think did. And I think there's some of the people who voted for him, myself included, might say, you know what, there's no chance we'll vote for him.
See, he needs 52% more of the vote in order to get in. I don't think he ever gets in. If he comes out and says, I did it, this is why I did it, he's not going to get in. If he gives the mea culpa, admits to doing it. And otherwise, he's going to have to come out and say why he testified the way that he did, and then say, I never used it. Because of the way he testified, I don't think he gets there. I don't care what we find out of anybody else. 52% of the vote's too much to overcome.
Historically, there's at Cooperstown, the dead ball era, and players get in from the dead ball era. There's the live ball era, and players get in. If you compare dead ball era numbers with steroid era numbers, those guys would never get in under the steroid era. Why not just take the best of the steroid era and say, get in?
Well, I mean, listen, voting has taken place across different eras. Remember, we didn't have Negro League players playing in the major leagues for the longest time. Then they came in, numbers changed, you had more players participating, talent diluted a little bit, you had expansion, but yet voting has gone across. But for some reason, the steroid issue is looked at quite differently and as cheating. People don't seem to be looking at as an era that you just vote yourself through.
But I do think in this era, what we found is, in my mind, home runs are really devalued. I mean, if you take the 8 top hitters of all time in home runs per 100 plate appearances, McGwire is number 1, but 7 of the top 8 were playing in the 90s. Babe Ruth's the only guy in that top 8 category that didn't play in the 90s.
But it's come back. I mean, Ryan Howard, David Ortiz, 50s and 40s are now what everybody seems to expect as your top home run hitters. When you look at the game of baseball with regards to what McGwire meant to it, there's a big contradiction going on. Steroid era, didn't get in, and yet more popular than ever. TV ratings are off the charts. People are going to games more than ever. What does it say about baseball fans and their feelings about the steroid era?
What they really care about is the immediate. I mean, just take the New York Mets, for example. I mean, where do they go without Guillermo Mota last year? Guillermo Mota gets suspended for the first 2 months, and he gets a 2-year contract. So, I mean, people are not saying, oh, we have to completely rid our sport of this.
I think they're drawing the line between, I'm a fan, I want my team to win, but when it comes to sort of putting down in perspective the entire history of the game, we can't go there. We don't want that.
See, I don't be an idealist about it, but people love baseball. I mean, they keep coming out attendance. Revenues continue to grow despite the punch in the gut that the fans in the game takes every other year and every other week with the story of steroids. I don't think the fans are bothered that much. I mean, they're bothered by it, but they're separating it from the game itself, from the individual decision-making of the players.
In the end, the day belongs to Ripken, it belongs to Gwynn, and the idea that perhaps McGwire overshadows those two, perhaps the whole McGwire discussion makes them shine even brighter. With Steve Phillips, Peter Gammons, I'm Carl Ravitch.
35 years ago tonight, the Lakers' 33-game winning streak came to an end, the longest winning streak in Major League sports history. Kobe of these Lakers shooting for a 5-game winning streak in Memphis. Bryant doing his best. He had 25 to lead L.A., had a 7-point lead at the half. In the third, though, here's the Grizzlies working the fast break. Damon Stoudemire to Pau Gasol. Then Stoudemire, long pass ahead to Miller for the breakaway jam. Rudy Gay showing off the fast hands and the fast feet. Grizzlies 24 fast break points in the third. Lakers 0. Outscored them overall 46-22 in that third quarter. Here's Stoudemire to Akeem Warwick. Stoudemire 6 assists. Get this, Grizzlies have won 7 of their last 9 games against the Lake Show.
Blazers in San Antonio to square off with the Spurs. Tony Parker banged up hip. San Antonio had lost 3 of 4 trying to get right early first quarter. Tim Duncan, how easy is that? And later in the first, Spurs down 3. Manu Ginobili, that's not very easy either. Spurs down 21-18 after 1. Second quarter, different quarter. Spurs started to take it inside. Parker with the drive to the basket. He had 14. Parker, no, but Duncan there for the tip. Spurs 31.6% from the floor in the first, 66.7% in the second quarter. Now in the fourth, Ginobili That falls. He had 14. Spurs win at 98-84. Portland has dropped 8 of its last 10. NBA coming your way on ESPN Wednesday. Allen Iverson looks to stake his claim in the Western Conference. He leads the Nuggets against the Spurs, led by Tim Duncan. NBA Wednesday on ESPN, 9 Eastern time.
We can be as successful as we can be and be champions here at Alabama again.
That was halftime of tonight's basketball game. Nick Saban already feeling at home in Alabama. Did he fire up the Tide on the court against LSU? And Peyton Manning had his share of playoff disappointments. Coming up next, why the Colts just can't afford another off game from number 18.
Inspired by a true story of the world's most terrifying serial killer. He has claimed over 300 victims.
I shot him again and again. He refused to die.
He remains at large.
We're going to show people what's happening here.
This Friday, in a remote corner of Africa,
You realize we could die here?
the hunt for a killer begins.
No!
Primeval, rated R, starts Friday.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Adieu, adieu to you and you and you.
Say goodbye to the 2006 models with up to $4,000 cash back or visit Kia.com.
The dawn of a new season. Will champions still rule? Is there an upset in the making? A star ready to be born? The greatest dramas in tennis unfold. The Australian Open. Coverage begins Sunday at 7 on ESPN2.
Make a smooth approach. Make smooth contact with Electric Shave Pre-Shave Lotion. Stands up whiskers for up to a 52% closer shave. Electric Shave. Blade close, electric smooth.
Can an odor-free cream stand up to your back pain?
You better fit Aspercream.
Aspercream is clinically proven to knock out the pain with the maximum strength formula that's odor-free. Arthritis pain stopped?
You better fit Aspercream.
Trust Bathfitter to remodel your bathroom. In just one day, America's leading bath and shower remodeler will install a custom-made tub or shower to fit perfectly right over your old one.
Call 1-888-277-2617 for your free in-home estimate or visit us at bathfitter.com.
The NFL's divisional playoffs coming up this weekend. Here are the 8 remaining playoff quarterbacks by the numbers. Start with 3. The number of remaining quarterbacks without a playoff win. Drew Brees, Rex Grossman, and Phillip Rivers. Still looking to get it done in the postseason. Rivers the only quarterback making his playoff debut. 5 combined Super Bowl appearances. 3 Super Bowl wins, 2 MVPs for Tom Brady, and losses by Steve McNair in Super Bowl 34, Matt Hasselbeck last year. 33 number of postseason touchdown passes by Brady and Peyton Manning. Other 6 quarterbacks combined for just 22. And 42 the playoff completion percentage for Rex Grossman. The other 7 playoff quarterbacks all above 58%. More on how the quarterbacks will fare now with the NFL Live crew.
Thanks. Welcome into NFL Live. Trey Wingo here with Sean Salisbury. Sean, if I've heard you say it once, you've said it 4,000 times. Play
Don't cheat me out of my other 10,000.
Is all about the quarterback. So with that in mind, let's break down the quarterback position this week in divisional round. The team that needs great quarterback play to win is
Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning. Now, we usually expect that from Peyton, but when you look at this team, the Ravens, and how physical they are, and I contend, as good a coach as Tony is, and with all the other good athletes they have in that team, without Peyton Manning or a bad game by Peyton Manning, this is a below 500 team. He must play well, has to perform against a great defense.
And he did not play very well against Kansas City. Yes, he was 30 of 38, but he had 3 interceptions.
Isn't that amazing? We're saying that 30 of 38.
Good news is he doesn't have to worry about Ty Law anymore. All right, the team that doesn't need great quarterback play to win.
Chicago Bears. They're playing against an inconsistent Seattle team right now, who they whooped early in the season. Yes, Sean Alexander's back, but with Rex Grossman, I just need to find middle ground. All I need to do is not have you bad and not have you great, just somewhere in between. 13 out of 20 for a touchdown and no picks,
and they'll win because I think the Bears' defense can overcome it. Doesn't need to be great, and he needs to ingrain that in his mind. Just be reliable, and the Bears can overcome that.
Again, Grossman's last outing, 3 interceptions, only 2 completions to his team. Aside from Grossman, the quarterback most likely to struggle is...
Yeah, we're already putting Grossman in the struggling category. Phillip Rivers, and here's why. Trey, the numbers. He's in the last 6 games of the season, regular season, completed only 52% of his passes, which is not like him. He's 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 77, just a little over. While some of that's average, he's got to play better because you know Belichick is going to give him all kinds of different looks. His idea will be take LT out of the game and make Phillip Rivers beat him. If Phillip Rivers plays like that, he can't beat the New England Patriots. There's going to be a big onus on him to perform. So that one may be the one that struggles because of all the looks.
And you know Bill Belichick and company are going to have something really exotic to throw at him with their blitzes and schemes. All right, the quarterback whose performance will be talked about Monday.
No brainer. It's Peyton Manning again. Because if they win, it will have been a spectacular performance. Right. Peyton will have taken on a great defense and hammered them and played well and thrown touchdowns and got them in rhythm and put the ball in the end zone. And if it's over 20, I expect the Colts will be in that rhythm. But if they don't win, you know what we're going to say? No matter what the result is, it's going to be Peyton Manning's fault, according to everybody. And boy, you didn't win the big game. Why can't Peyton win a Super Bowl? Peyton Manning is the reason this team's here for the most part. They will win because of him, not in spite of him, if they do. He must perform in this game.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Peyton has won his last 3 games against the Ravens, but those last 3 games against the Ravens were not when Steve McNair was quarterbacking in Baltimore. Back to you.
More NFL on ESPN.com. Len Pasquarelli believes the Saints need Drew Brees to continue his magical season and take advantage of a thin Eagles secondary that's without Lito Shepherd. So log on and check it out.
Back to college hoops. Oliver Purnell's 14th-ranked Clemson squad, the only undefeated school left in Division I. And when James Mays is in the lineup, they've won 27 straight. Playing at NC State, Sam Perry, the steal, and Mays finishes. Later in the first half, Clemson was up 4. Mays, but maybe this is why they win with him in the lineup. He does things like stealing the inbounds and hitting the layup. Second half, Clemson up 11. Trevor Booker misses the up and under. Okay, Mays is there. He had 16-8 in the game. Clemson up 10. Casey Rivers scored in double figures for the 7th time this season while coming off the bench. Significant. Vernon Hamilton, the 3. Clemson wins again. Tie the best start in school history. Jay Billis remembers the first time.
Clemson moves to 17-0 for the first time since Horace Grant was a Tiger, and this Tiger team under Oliver Purnell is really good in transition, and they're really good at pressing up. They trap that first pass. They've got 6'9" James Mays on the ball, and that helps them force tempo to force turnovers so they can get into a running game. Also a very good offensive rebounding team. They've got an outstanding guard in Casey Rivers that comes off the bench, gives them 16 points per game, and Mays is a game changer. Clemson is for real. They've gotten off to a great start in the ACC. There's more to come.
Jay, it was 20 years ago that Tigers won their first 17 games, averaging almost 90 points per game, but they went on to lose their 18th game. And, of course, as you see at the bottom, they lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. They fell to Duke that year. This year's squad is doing it more with defense, holding their opponents to an average of just over 61 points per game. Their 18th game will come Saturday at Maryland.
This past Saturday, LSU knocked off UConn, taking on Alabama tonight. The old Alabama legend, Ken Stabler. New Alabama legend, Nick Saban in the house. Big baby Glenn Davis from LSU playing with sore ribs, hurt knee from Saturday's 2-car accident. First half, LSU up 5. Davis, he's spinning, showing no signs of injury, but Alabama responded with Alonzo G. The slam, then he hit a 3. He had 15 points in the first half, 11 in 4.5 minutes. It was a one-man rally. Alabama up 9 at the break. Early second half, Crimson tied up 6. Jamario Davidson and Richard Hendricks missed the free throw, but Alabama still in control. Second half, LSU down 12. Davis doing all he can. Bucket and the foul, 24 points, 17 rebounds. LSU cut it to 9. Later in the second half, Richard Hendricks. He had 18, and Alabama hangs on to beat the Tigers 71-61.
That's the kind of person I am. Overpaid athlete that wants to try and get something back.
After 2 rough seasons in the Bronx, the big unit is back with the D-backs. See what Randy Johnson is looking forward to most in his return to the desert. And Toronto, 4 games under 500, still leading the Atlantic. Raptors with the second-place Nets in a battle for the worst first in the NBA.
Breakdown brought to you by McDonald's. Hey, thanks for stopping by. You know, I followed your character since the first episode. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Thank you.
And listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is very adult content. Too adult for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
Multiply your possibilities. Introducing Intel Core 2 Duo, the world's best processors.
Are you kidding me? What? Pull over. I didn't do anything!
Kid's older brother owes money, and Johnny's holding it until he gets paid.
So you're like ransom or something. That's hot.
Kid goes home, everybody's looking at life.
Life?
Lord, give me a sign.
This Friday, we gotta kill the kid.
That's a joke, right?
How far do you go?
There's a missing person poster on every street corner.
When there's no turning back.
I would never rat you guys out. Yeah, we know that, man.
Alpha Dog, rated R, starts Friday.
With Budweiser Select, beer has come a long way. We search out the finest ingredients over 2 continents to give it a bold taste. Then we brew it longer for a smooth finish. Never before has beer been made like this. Never has one tasted like this. Budweiser Select.
Expect more. Expect everything.
Cause there's a party over here, so you might as well be here with the people care.
Breaking news from college football. Sources close to USC have told ESPN that USC wide receiver Dwayne Jarrett has selected an agent and will announce on Wednesday that he'll forego his remaining collegiate eligibility and enter the 2007 NFL Draft. He's a junior, 2-time All-American, and he had 70 catches for 1,015 yards and led the Trojans with 12 touchdowns this season. The official announcement is expected at a 2 p.m. news conference tomorrow afternoon.
Back to the NBA, Mavs and Jazz. They met a month ago. Utah blasted Dallas by 22. Avery Johnson of the Mavs trying to fix that. First quarter, Josh Howard throwing down over Andre Kirilenko. Watch it again. Howard, the jam there. Mavericks had a 13-9 lead. Jerry Stackhouse elbow to Matt Harpring. And here's something you don't see often. Jerry Sloan doesn't like the foul, and the player and the coach exchanged some words. Stack called for the technical. He would be ejected in the third quarter. In the second quarter, Carlos Boozer, the strip on Dirk. You don't see that often. Later, Boozer, another steal. And finishes another dunk. Why not? Jazz led 53-45 at the half. Mavs had 14 turnovers in that first half. In the third, Mavs down 1. Not for long. Dirk puts them up by 2. Dallas up 3. Dirk working on the elbow. That's the position on the court there. The Mavericks up 104-99. 20 seconds left. The Jazz are down 3. Darren Williams, forget the 3. He's going to go for 2, and it's blocked by Eric Dampier. Dirk picks it up. They foul him. And the Mavericks do go on to win 108-105. Dirk a season-high 38. Well, entering tonight, the Raptors were your Atlantic Division leaders.
Ooh, they're good.
Of 15-19. That would be last place in the Central, Stan. It's not just Toronto, though. The entire Atlantic, a combined 39 games below 500. Therefore, a critical showdown tonight in New Jersey. Nets a half game back of the Raptors in the battle for first place and supremacy in the Atlantic. Jason Kidd, he's got a bad back. He's got some other issues, but not there. Able to kick out to Vince Carter. Marcus Williams floats one to Hassan Adams. Nice. Put the Nets up 2 in the second quarter. Tied at 26. Andrea Bargnani for 3. Bargnani finished with 4 3-pointers and 22 points. Big man who can shoot. That's how he becomes a top pick. Carter misses down low, gets his own board and doesn't miss again. Carter was 12 of 23 from the floor. Here's Kidd. The dish to Jefferson. Nice look. Nets move ahead by 4. There's the great ball fake. Kidd had 14 assists, 10 points, 8 boards. In the fourth, Nets up 7. Kidd to Carter. Carter finished with 32 points, 7 assists, and 5 boards. Jamal Mashburn.
The team that's winning the Atlantic Division this year is the New Jersey Nets. They have the big three on the perimeter with Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd, and Vince Carter. Now the question is, can this team win a playoff series? And absolutely not. The reason is they don't have interior presence. None on the defensive end and none on the offensive end. So in the playoffs for the New Jersey Nets, this will be a tough go-around.
Well, along those lines, Jamal, only 3 teams in NBA history have finished the regular season atop their division despite finishing below 500, but it hasn't happened since the 75-76 Bucks won the Central with a 38-44 record. And as Jamal was alluding to, no surprise, all 3 of these teams on this list failed to win the playoff series.
Next up, Philly Pistons and Sixers. Before the game, Richard Hamilton compared himself to other big-time scorers in the league, and he talked about how he's different from them.
You can see a guy out there that dominates the ball the whole game and get 18 points, you know, but it looks like 30, you know. And you can watch me play, and I'll get 30, and it seems like 12 to 14 points.
Didn't quite get 30, he did have 22. One of his teammates got 30, though. Tayshaun Prince. No Chauncey Billups for Detroit, so Prince took matters into his own hands. 13 of 18 from the field. With his team by 15 in the fourth, Prince, I mean, he was feeling it. Step back 3, no problem. Career high 33 for Tayshaun. Pistons win it 98-89.
Randy Johnson endorsed Arizona's plans to start Brandon Webb on opening day. Johnson officially rejoining the Diamondbacks today, the 43-year-old lefty with the cranky back. 2-year, $26 million deal. Passed his physical yesterday, reflected on his recent pass today.
The run that I had, as short-lived as it was, as well documented as it was in New York, I wouldn't change a thing. I think those are life experiences that make a man. I'm just very excited to be back and be a part of the history here and continue my career. Looking forward to being number 51 again. I believe that number's still available. And as far as the mullet coming back, I think I'd have to wear a wig or have hair extensions for that to happen.
Underneath that new Diamondbacks hat. Randy Johnson going back to the team where he had his most success in the bigs in his 6 seasons in the desert. Johnson won 103 games, ERA of 2.65, picked up 4 Cy Young awards to go along with the MVP he shared in the World Series with Curt Schilling.
College football news. Bobby Petrino took the head coaching job in Atlanta after just 1 meeting with the Falcons. And Louisville didn't waste any time finding Petrino's replacement either. Louisville athletic director Tom Jurek flew to Oklahoma to meet with Tulsa coach Steve Kragthorpe Monday night. This morning, Kragthorpe was on the flight back to Louisville with a new job. He's got a 5-year deal with the Cardinals that will pay him $1.1 million. The hire probably happened so quickly because Jurek already knew so much about Kragthorpe. They've been friends since 1990 when they were both at Northern Arizona. Now Kragthorpe's job is to keep the momentum Louisville managed under Petrino. This season that included the Big East title and an Orange Bowl win, so they don't need a turnaround, but Kragthorpe did turn things around at Tulsa. 29-22 in 4 seasons with Tulsa, leading the Golden Hurricane to 3 bowl appearances in 4 seasons at Tulsa. He was the 2003 WAC Coach of the Year, and was also the quarterback coach of the Buffalo Bills in 2001 and 2002.
The hockey news now, and we've been following the Vote for Rory campaign from the very beginning, and now sadly it's over. In the end, Rory Fitzpatrick of the Vancouver Canucks didn't get enough votes to put him in the top 2 among defensemen in the NHL's Western Conference. And it's highly unlikely his play will get him invited to the NHL All Star game later this month in Dallas. The 31-year-old journeyman defenseman has 1 point this season. He was the subject of an internet campaign that had him among the top 2 vote getters until the final weeks of voting. He wound up finishing 3rd, ahead of even Chris Pronger. Here are your Western Conference All-Stars. Scott Niedermayer and Nicholas Lidstrom beat out Fitzpatrick as the starting Western Conference defenseman. Rory got more than 550,000 votes, only 23,000 behind Lidstrom. Joe Sakic of the Avs and a pair of Sharks, Joe Thornton. He was the top vote getter in the West. And Jonathan Chichu will start up front, while Roberto Luongo, Fitzpatrick's teammate, will be in net. Ducks and Predators having all-star seasons. Thomas Vakoun starting his first game for Nashville in goal since he hurt his hand November 23rd. Andy McDonald to Teemu Selanne. You know he can score. We were tied at 4. In overtime, Kimmo Timonen circles the net. Pass to a wide-open Steve Sullivan, and there's your game winner. Sullivan at the point, slips the puck between two Duck players to team it in. He circles the net, everybody collapses on the goal, and Sullivan slips it into the slot and scores his 13. The potential Western Conference Finals preview won by the Predators.
What about the Eastern Conference All-Stars? Well, here's the lineup. 3 of the 6 starters, Daniel Briere, Brian Campbell, and Ryan Miller, come from the conference-leading Sabres. Penguin center Sidney Crosby led all vote-getters with more than 825,000 votes. He'll be joined on the front line by fellow second-year phenom Alexander Ovechkin. Montreal Sheldon Souray rounds out the starting lineup. Now, we mentioned Crosby, his team trying to get its first win over the Lightning in 11 tries. Tampa Bay skating with Pittsburgh. See Crosby leading the league with 64 points. Martin St. Louis tied for the league lead with 26 goals. Let's get it on. First period, scoreless game. Crosby steals a puck from Dan Boyle on his knees, and he still scores 5-hole. Penguins up 1-0 just 24 seconds into the game. 24 of the year for Crosby. Now, that's why he's the leading vote getter. Second period, game tied at 1, Lightning on a power play. St. Louis beats Marc-Andre Fleury. Tough angle. St. Louis 27th of the year. Third period, St. Louis steals a puck from Sergei Gonchar. It's Andreas Karlsson. Gets 2 whacks at it and scores. Lightning winning 3-2. St. Louis a goal and a pair of assists.
Still to come here on SportsCenter. All our top stories are coming back, including 583 home runs. Not enough to get Mark McGwire into the Hall this time around.
We are a family, so we're going to deal with this as a family. Your father never cut off anybody's pinky?
Rules are rules. You only got 2 choices.
If I find out, you're lying.
We have got guns here.
So give me what I tell you.
Watch your step.
You're going to keep your mouth shut. He ain't coming back. You think I don't know what's so funny anymore? We just want to talk to you. You got 24 hours.
Are you in the mafia?
There's no mafia.
Nothing is impossible. It's a dirty word, a challenge dismissed with a rip and a shred. Gravity is my slave. I don't get air, I take it. I drop jaws, I shake boots, I destroy pipes. I collect precious metals. I don't just land tricks, I invent them. Winter X Games 11, it only happens here. January 25th through the 28th, live on ESPN and ABC. Presented by Jeep.
Every time I see her passing by, all I do is hang my head and cry.
The totally new Jeep Compass with 30 miles per gallon on the highway. It's freedom in a whole new dimension.
America runs on Dunkin's new white hot chocolate. One sip from this sweet, delicious treat, and you'll warm right up. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin's hot chocolate. A little cup of cozy when you're hopping around town. Dunkin' Donuts.